Go ahead.
Okay, as we speak tonight, I'm going to go in alphabetical order around the table rather than trying to watch for hands. And I'm going to use the first names, Angela, Bill, Doug, Joe, Matthew, and Patricia, okay? We'll go around the table and we'll go around the table a second time. So try and keep some kind of decorum if we can. Will we've missed the odd person in a while? Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Is that good with everybody, or is there any other suggestions? Or okay,
Sounds
we'll
good.
see how it works, and we'll go from there. Okay, item 2, disclosure of pecuniary interest and general nature thereof. None. Item 3, approval amendments of meeting agenda.
Through your worship, if I may, I'd like to add an item to the agenda for this evening. Public Works has requested a pole light be installed at the water treatment plant. It's quite dark out there, and they wanted us to add that to the agenda for tonight, if that's possible. If I can have council's permission to do that, we'll do that under section 11.4, other business.
Okay. Is there any concerns about that? Angela? Bill? Doug? Joe? Matt? Pat? Okay. Go to it. Okay. We have a motion. Any other amendments?
Through your worship, be it resolved that council approve the agenda of the regular meeting dated May 19th, 2020 as amended.
Moved by Joe. Second by Matt. All in favor? Carried. Okay, item 4, approval of minutes, draft motion. Be it resolved that council approve the following minutes as presented. 4.1, Committee of the Whole, May the 5th, 2020. 4.2, special meetings of council, May the 8th, 2020. Any comments or questions on the minutes? Being none. Ryan?
Okay. Be it resolved that council approve the following minutes as presented. 4.1, Committee of the Whole, May 5th, 2020, and 4.2, Special Meeting of Council, May 8th, 2020.
Moved by Pat and second by Angela. Okay, item 5, all in favor, sorry. Carried. Item 5, business arising from the minutes. 5.1. Letter to Prime Minister Trudeau, RE Financial Aid Plan for Municipalities.
Be it resolved that council approve the financial aid plan for municipalities letter and direct staff to send to the Prime Minister Trudeau's office.
Mover and a seconder, please. Doug and Bill. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay, inquiries, we have none. Delegations and presentations, none. Business arising from delegations and presentations, none. Item 9, correspondence, none. Bylaws, none. General business. Approval of schedules. Schedule number 20-08 and schedule number 20-09. Any questions of the schedules? Can we have a mover and a seconder? Joe and Doug. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay, 11.2, COVID-19 update, provincial changes, impacts on municipalities. Ryan?
So through your worship, I did send an email this afternoon with some documents that are hot off the presses. The main one is, as of today, the announcement came from the province of Ontario that They have extended the emergency in the province to June the 2nd. However, they are opening up more things, such as businesses and whatnot. What's relevant in the documentation that came forward today is in regards to parks, to our community anyways. So they are allowing parks to be opened for the purpose of including outdoor sports facilities, multi-use fields, off-leash dog park areas, outdoor picnic sites, benches, and shelters in parks and recreation areas, effective today, Tuesday, May 19th, 2020. However, outdoor playgrounds, play structures and equipment, fitness equipment, public swimming pools, splash pads, and similar outdoor water facilities will remain closed until later stages of the provincial reopening plan. So where it more impacts the town is with our splash pad and our equipment at Tech Park. However, the province is making recreation for things like sports fields. That includes baseball fields, soccer fields, whatnot, for activities to start to resume. So I'm bringing that information forward to council as one matter. Would you like to have a discussion?
Angela?
When I read through it, I think we need to stress that it's not, team sports are not to be allowed, i.e. baseball games, unless you all reside under the same roof. Because social gatherings of more than 5 people are still not permitted. Therefore, team sports are not permitted.
Okay. Bill? I want to. Okay.
Sorry, I unmuted Bill.
Can you unmute him? Bill?
Oh,
You're
sorry.
muted.
No, I have nothing to say on that subject,
Okay.
Your Worship. Thank you.
Doug? You're muted.
Nothing to add, George,
Okay.
that I can say in public.
Okay. Joe?
No, I'm good with that. I agree with Angela at the whole about the team sports.
Matt?
I'm in agreement with Councilor Adshead. Nothing more to add.
Pat?
Nothing more to add.
Okay. Thank you very much. I know that I'm just going to add a little bit here in my own little, since the government has eased up, it seems that people have sort of forgotten in a little bit, and I wish they'd remember that this is still in effect. We're still under an emergency, and they still have to live by the rules, fortunately, and we have to do also. Okay. Nothing else? Go ahead. Sorry, Angela.
I don't know if we can, I don't know how, I even know how to put the message out there, but that if the privilege is abused, we will shut the park down again. If we find that people are gathering that aren't under the same household.
Absolutely. Okay. Brian, you were.
Yes, through you, Your Worship, on another matter, as we begin to start to see businesses open again and whatnot, it is an effort that we're putting forward to reopen the municipal office. However, we have to follow very strict guidelines by the Ministry of Labor and the health unit and whatnot to have proper barriers in place and physical distancing measures, cleanliness measures or whatnot addressed within the municipal building. So we are working on those. I've been getting quotes for the things that are necessary, like a partition between the public and the frontline staff at the front counter, and a number of other things, hand sanitizing stations, and door access controls, as our municipal building isn't set up to have more than one person according to the current guidelines, more than one person within the building at the front counter space at a time. So we have to look at other measures as well, and so those things are in process.
Okay.
So at this time, we're not going to be looking to reopen the office, but we're working towards that goal.
Okay. Angela?
Just a reminder that there might be hand sanitizer dispensers in the hoist room.
Okay. Doug?
I'm wondering if the barriers that we're going to put up in the front of the town office are going to be of a permanent structure. I'm thinking if we're going to spend money to do this, let's make it a good one and make it permanent.
Yeah, go ahead.
Through your worship, yes, that's an excellent suggestion, and that is the direction we're looking at going, as the plexiglass temporary measures would cost virtually the same as a permanent structure put in place. So we might as well go with Councilor Wilcox's suggestion, and that's the route that we're looking at presently.
Good. Bill?
But Councilor Wilcox, I think that would be a good idea. More than likely, we'll probably be inspected by the Ministry of Labor. I know they're looking for, actually got a call if I was interested in coming back to work. I guess they're going to really look at protecting the workplaces if they go back. So probably going to be subjected to an inspection there. So might as well do it right. Do we have guidelines of any sort, what we need to do, or is it just?
I don't know. I imagine there will. Brian?
Through you, worship. There's a small guideline that's come forward, but the guidelines are fairly vague at the moment, and I'm sure they'll become much more fulsome in the very near future. We're just simply following the mandates that we're given now, and trying to anticipate ahead as well.
Okay. Joe? Good. Matthew? Good. Pat? Okay, all good. Okay. Angela?
Sorry, when I worked in manufacturing as a payroll manager, I actually had a lock release button at my desk. I'm just wondering if we want to be able to limit the number of people coming into the office. That might be something you might want to investigate for your door.
Go ahead, Brian.
So yeah, through you, worship, that's exactly what we're looking for, an intercom system that has 3 stations within the municipal space. It's a video and audio system that will allow us to communicate with someone waiting outside. Unfortunately, until these restrictions are lifted in completeness in terms of physical distancing and whatnot, there really isn't room for someone to wait inside the lobby, as there's not the 6 foot or 1 meter or 2 meter, distancing between the entrance door and the lobby area and the person who's at the front counter. So we'd have to have people wait outside in proper zones, so they have distancing applied as well. It'll be driven by an electronic strike. It'll be attached as part of our system for accessibility doors that's being installed very, very soon. And so it'll be controlled by whoever is running the monitor from inside the office.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else have anything to? Okay, thank you very much then for that update. 11.3, Town of Cobalt fire ban in effect. You want to give us an update on that, Brian, where we're at?
Yes,
And
through
we
your
can go around the
worship.
table.
It was just over the lunch hour on Friday when we were notified through Emergency Management Ontario that the Ontario Fire Marshal's Office and the Ministry of Natural Resources had lifted or was intending to lift the fire ban later that day at 12:01 a.m. That night. And so because like most municipalities, we didn't have any issuances of permits for 2020 yet. We had to think quick on our feet, unfortunately, and make some decisions there. Through the fire chief and the volunteer fire department, the town remained under a municipal fire ban for the weekend. Now this is our opportunity to speak to that. I've talked with a number of administrators over Friday and today, and most municipalities have made some workarounds and how they're going to deal with this. The most common option is to allow those who were permitted in 2019 to have their permits extended into 2020 or automatically granted for 2020, so they can start using their approved fire apparatuses in their home or in their yards.
Okay. Angela?
I don't have a problem with that. Is that going to be for the whole season of 2020, or are we only doing it until the office is open and operational? And I would also put out a strong message that if it's abused, we would definitely seriously consider putting a ban back in place, because we do not want to risk the welfare of our volunteer firefighters nor their families that they go home to through somebody else's recklessness and disregard.
That is a condition, I believe, of all the fire permits anyhow. So that's good, Bill?
You're muted.
Okay. Go ahead, Bill.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Through you, Your Worship. I support the fire department. I think it's their call. We've had some issues here in town, and we're getting dry weather and it's getting warmer. I know the next 2 weeks are no predicting any rain. So I mean, it doesn't. I just think a fire ban, as far as I'm concerned, in this town is our call. Is the fire chief and the department's call. They should be the guys making the call on this. But I support it.
Doug?
Definitely, if the fire department wishes to impose a fire ban, I would support that, no question about it. I do, however, also like the idea of empowering people who had permits to burn, on the condition, of course, we don't issue any further permits until the situation allows. So I'm reasonably easy about it.
Okay. Joe?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Just what do people who want a fire permit, that they're building their fire area, they got it all done, they can't get one now?
Go ahead, Brian. You got a solution for?
Yeah, so through your worship, anyone who would be looking to get an application for a new permit, at this time, the municipal office is closed and we're not in the position to issue, to do the work to issue those. Now, we do have a document ready. It's a PDF document that can be filled out electronically. It is ready and can be put up on the website where people can fill out at least an application form and get it into the office. And then we can see if our inspectors are available to go and assess the site that's being set up. However, we can't promise that that will get done in a timely manner. And there's the issue of also receiving payment. Currently, right now, the only way we would be able to receive payment for the application itself is via check in the mail. There's no account that we can set up with the bank to have a payment like we would electronically take a payment from a customer for their water bill or for their property taxes. We don't have an account set up like that for things, special services like this. So there isn't an opportunity to receive any other form of electronic payment, just a check.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Matthew?
Thanks.
Through you, Your Worship. First and foremost, I support what our volunteer fire department is going to instruct us, or the best practice that they're going to instruct us to follow is. However, I am in support, if it's okay with the fire chief and the fire department, of allowing people who had purchased permits last year to burn this year until we can get past the point where we have administrative issues with any type of application or payment method. I do not believe that putting an application out at this time would help anything. It may actually bottleneck, and it's my understanding that the fire chief is the one doing the site inspections, and I don't think that we should be opening that up just yet. However, the workaround would be to allow people to burn who had a permit last year.
Pat?
There we are. Yeah, I think anyone that's had a permit last year should be allowed to go ahead and use their approved fire pits and things like that this year. But I'm in agreement. I think we should wait on putting out an application for the new fire permits until there's time and things can be set up better, and until the fire chief approves, and says he's ready to go and do inspections and everything. Because that's adding a risk to him going to someone's house, and he may not be comfortable with that. So,
Okay. Is there any more? So, am I to, go ahead, Angela.
Had my
Angela?
thought, lost. Yeah, had my thought, lost my thought.
Mhm.
Give me just a second. Yeah, I think it's important to keep in mind we're asking people to stay home as much as possible. The weather is getting nicer, and you need to be able to give them something to do at home if it's safe to do so.
Yes, I believe so. Okay.
As long as they're not socially gathering.
Yeah. Bill, any more? Doug? Good to go? Okay. Joe? Good to go? Matt? Good to go? Pat? Good to go. Okay. So do we need a motion to get, yeah, go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, so through your worship, I just will fill in the answer for one of the questions by councilors. I did speak with the fire chief today, and he's in favor of having those who had an application permitted last year, and so they had a permitted fires, an approved fire apparatus and whatnot, then he would be happy with them being approved again this year and giving that extension to them. So
Absolutely. Okay, very good.
Doug's got a...
Doug?
A motion. I probably should give a motion at this point then. However you want to word it, that persons with existing fire permits from 2019 shall be permitted to continue burning in the fire pits this year.
Okay. And the thing is too, is if we were to turn this all down and say, no, you're not allowed to burn, I'm afraid that we would probably get maybe illegal fires. And that's where we get into problems. Okay. So do you want to write up a motion for that, Brian?
Yes, I'm working on it.
Okay.
Now, is this for all of the year? Nobody did answer that question.
Well, until it has to stay on, I would think, depending
No,
on.
no,
what we-
for the permits just being grandfathered in for this year based on last year. Is that for the whole season or just until we're open?
I'm not sure. What do you want? Do you want to keep it for all season or? Doug?
I think in view of, what we've been going through with the pandemic right now, and just try and reopen all of that process would just be another thing perhaps getting in the way of the office and trying to catch up on what they've got to do already. So I would say let's just grandfather it for the year and be done with it.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Brian?
Yeah, through your worship, last year we issued 35 permits with a net revenue of just under $1,000 through those permits, which pays for the inspections.
Very good. Is there any more comments on fire? Are you ready with your motion, Brian?
Okay, be it resolved through your worship, be it resolved, council extends permits that were issued in 2019 to be extended into 2020.
Mover and a seconder? Doug and Pat? All in favor? Carried. Well, we can make a lot of people happy, I think. Very good, thank you.
Through your worship, we'll make an announcement tomorrow as quickly as we can.
Item 12, motion for which prior notice has been given. None. Mayor's report, none. Notice of motion. Okay, Brian, you have.
Through your worship, sorry, if we could just get back to the added item to the agenda, which is the pole light for the water treatment plant. My apologies, 11.4.
Oh, 11.4. Okay, I thought it was 14. Sorry, my mistake. Okay. Go ahead.
So through your worship, last week we got a request from the Public Works Department to have another light. There is an exterior light that's on the end of the water treatment plant pump house building. However, with the new standing column, water column that's there, it blocks a very significant amount of that light. And so when the Public Works Department are attending calls in the evening hours at night and whatnot, they arrive there and virtually cannot see what they're doing when they're coming in and out. And going from a building inside with lights on to stepping out into pure darkness is really a safety concern and something that needs to be addressed. So they did send forward a quote from Cote's Pole Lines Incorporated. And the amount of the quote, if you don't have it in front of you, it is on your electronic agenda folders. Also, I did email it to you prior to the meeting, but I'm just going to, I can even put it up on the screen if you want to see it. But the amount of the quote is for including the supply of the light fixture, the install, the wiring, everything that's necessary is $1,442.50 plus HST for a grand total of $1,630.03.
Okay. Any, Angela?
I think it's a good idea because not only is it a safety issue, but bear season is here. It would probably be nice to know if somebody's waiting outside for them when they come out.
Mm-hmm. Bill? Bill?
I have no comment, Your Worship.
No comments. Okay. Doug?
I'm in favor.
Go.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. Go for it.
Okay. Matt?
Through you, Your Worship, I'm in total agreement.
Okay, thank you. Patricia?
A good safety measure. I'm full agreement.
Okay. Now I'm looking at the quote right here right now, and install 8-foot aluminum arm with LED light fixture, but then 2 lines down, he's got supply LED light fixture and another. Is that a double? And then he's got supply 8-foot. Could we get this looked at? And
Yeah, through your worship, I'll reach back out to them tomorrow.
yeah.
And if we need to make an amendment, we will. It might be 2 different lights they're looking at. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Looks a little confusing. But the bottom line is we have to get it done anyways.
Sorry, through your worship, I just looked at the quote again, and one is a service to install, and the other one is to supply the actual product necessary.
That makes sense. Okay, so we will require a motion to get that.
I have a motion prepared when ready.
Doug?
Doug had his hand up. I believe
Yes,
he
I
needed.
see. I know.
Be it resolved, council approved the request by Public Works Department to have a pole light installed at the water treatment plant. Council has chosen Cote's Pole Line Incorporated to install at the cost of $1,442.50 plus HST.
Over in a seconder. Doug and Matt. All in favor? Carried. Any more comments? No more comments on that. Okay. Item 12, motion for which prior notice has been given. We've been through their mayor's report. None. Notice of motion. None. Councilor updates. None. Councilor questions and answers. Any? One? Angela? No? Okay. 17, closed session.
Through Through your worship, be it resolved that council convene in closed session for the purpose of approving closed session minutes, and as per subsection 239 of the Municipal Act 2001, as amended, in order to address a matter pertaining to subsection 2B, personal matter about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees. The subject is review of bylaw enforcement officer RFP tender results.
Okay, mover and a seconder. Joe and Angela, all in favor? Carried. Okay.
Go ahead, your worship.
To go. Okay, item 18, business arising from closed session. Being none. 19, confirmation bylaw.
Through your worship, be it resolved that bylaw number 2020-21, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council of the corporation of the town of Cobalt, be taken as read a first, second, and third time, and finally passed this day, 19th day of May 2020. And further, that the said bylaw be signed by the mayor and clerk and recorded in the bylaw book.
Moved by Pat and Matthew. And all in favor? Carried. Okay. Item 20, adjournment.
Through your worship, be it resolved that the regular meeting of council be adjourned at
8:09, according to my computer. Mover and a seconder. Joe and Doug, all in favor? Carried. Okay, get that recording off and we're good to go.